This is Hudson Valley Knits Podcast. Today is Thursday, November 16th, and I have not recorded since early August before my Lake George vacation. And a lot of you know, if you go to my Ravelry group, Hudson Valley Knits on Ravelry, you'll see that this is mostly due to a family crisis involving my mother-in-law where she needed a lot of help and care. And I just have been pulled in a lot of directions and been under a lot of stress. And so I decided to rid myself of one responsibility, although it's one of the ones I kind of enjoyed. It was one of the ones that really wasn't 100% necessary. So I did put it on hold for a while. I haven't even had the time to knit much, so it kind of made sense. And anyway, here I am. This is not a full-blown return. I don't know if I'm going to go back to every other week like I always try to do. But I have a lot I wanted to share, and I miss talking about my knitting. So here I am with episode 91. I guess we'll call it I'm back or checking in. I have not had a lot of time for knitting, but I do have some things that I was really excited about and wanted to share. So I guess I'll just come out and start with some of the works in progresses I'm working on at the current moment. One thing that I am just loving is a sock pattern that I have on the needles. I just finished the first one. This is actually still soaking wet. And I love the colors, which I don't know if you're getting well, you're getting a pretty good. It's actually, if anything, looks a little more saturated on the monitor that I'm seeing than it is in real life. It's kind of muted. It's a Knit Circus sock yarn. Let me get the label out. It is Greatest of Ease. It's a superwash and nylon blend by Knit Circus yarns, which are great yarn. They're pricey, but that's because a lot of work goes into dyeing yarn in such a fashion. Plus, they do it in separate 50-gram skeins so that you can have identical socks. It's just the dye job on this is a work of art in itself. So I understand the price. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that this is like a special treat skein of yarn. The colorway is called Sirat Impressionist. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I bought this when the summer I went to knitting camp, which was 2 summers ago. Boy, I wish I could do that again so bad. I loved going to knitting camp. It's Meg Swanson's knitting camp, and if you don't already know, Meg Swanson is Elizabeth Zimmerman's daughter. And Elizabeth Zimmerman started the knitting camps, and her daughter continues them. And Knit Circus was one of the vendors there. So I bought this, and what you do, this is a pattern by Kristen Kapoor, and it was through the Site is Life. I think it's the Site is Life, right? What does it say here? Let me show you the picture. There's Okapi socks. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Anyway, this is part of a little e-booklet where the proceeds were all donated to Doctors Without Borders. And here is a picture of the finish. And I guess to explain it, it's got like a fancy cuff. And it's got a little eyelet lace detail, but you basically, with Knit Circus, with these Greatest of Ease kits, you get 2 balls, and they're basically, this one has like bluish, mauve, and then to purple, and then almost like a pink. And you alternate balls, and you basically start the cuff with the pink on the outside. That's your ball A. And then ball B, you start from the blue side and you stripe it. So I do 2 rows in each, using each ball, and it kind of gives you a stripe effect. This is actually a fade yarn, not a striped yarn. It just made the stripe because I alternated balls. So I did the cuff entirely in the pink-ish mauvey purple, and and then I went to the blue, and then the pink, the blue, and all the way down to the sock toe, which I did actually all in the mauvey pink. Although you can see there's some transition there, but really this was all done with the one ball. I haven't cast on the second sock yet, but I will be doing that shortly. Love the pattern. I didn't mind so much dealing with the 2 balls. It worked out fine. Really enjoyed it, and I can't believe how quick I knit this in like a week. I don't usually knit socks that fast, but I think it's because I'm not working on much else. So I'm putting this on the radiator so it dries. Put this away. So that is one pair of socks. I have another pair of socks. I've been working on them a long time, and the reason being is I don't know, it's just not, the pattern's not thrilling me. It's by actually one of my more favorite designers, Hunter Hammerson, and let me get that out for you. So I still am working on the first sock, and like I said, I can't remember if I started this before or after the last podcast. I'm pretty sure it was after. This is in a Amy Beth's bag, Fat Squirrel, and this is called it's in her By Naughty Design book, and the pattern is, I don't know yet, but here's the picture. I basically like the pattern stitch. You can't really see it very well. Maybe if I hold it still, but it's kind of like a leafy pattern, leafy lace pattern, and it's not on here, but let me just look on Ravelry real quick. I have my computer out here. Naughty Design is the name of the pattern, Naughty Design Socks, and it is from the book Fine Things for Plain Occasions. Okay, so I got a little confused there. So it's Naughty Design is the name of the sock pattern, and Fine Things for Special Occasions is the book that it came from, which I have up here somewhere. I thought I could grab it real quick. If I could find it quick. Here it is. Yes. Fine Things for Plain Occasions by Hunter Hammerson. I love her stuff. I have almost all her books. Let me show you the sock. And as it's actually being knit with a skein that I won off her blog. Here is the almost finished first sock. And that captures the pattern and the yarn color quite well. And I really love the way it looks. It's just been, I don't know. It's just getting tired. I don't know. I just wasn't getting into it. Here's the yarn. I love the color. This is Anzula hand-dyed Haku yarn. It is a superwash merino, bamboo, and nylon blend in the colorway Shiitake. I really, really love this color. I think I started this I'm pretty sure I did start this after because I remember my mother-in-law oohing and eyeing about it while we were on vacation. She loved the yarn color as well. So that's another project that's kind of been maybe one round here or there. Nothing, not a lot of time spent on this. The other thing that I am working on that I am enjoying a lot, and I actually just started last weekend, excuse me, is a baby sweater. I actually have two coworkers that are expecting. One knows that he's having a boy, and the other woman, the other person I work with, she's not sure. So this is for the one who knows he's having a boy. He's Irish, so I figured a cable knit sweater would be really cute for his son. And I am knitting him. I'm knitting them both the same pattern with the same yarn, just different colors. The pattern is a Knitty pattern, a Knitty.com pattern. Let me find the picture so I can, show you the pattern. There's the back. I have the front picture. It is called, again, oh, here's a great picture of the front. It is called, I don't know. It's in the spring 2005 issue. Let's see if I find the first page, maybe it will tell me. Yes, trellis. Sorry. Trellis. And it was knit with a Rowan cotton yarn. I am using Lion, this is a discontinued yarn, but it's Lion brand Merino Cashmere Blend. It's a super wash. It's super soft and squishy. I had this in my stash from years ago. I got it at a Vogue Knitting Live, and I really love it. I'm kind of sad it's out of it's discontinued. But this will be for the little man they're both coming in February too. They're both due in February, but the baby shower for this little baby's parents is beginning in December. So I got it started. I actually had to rip it out because I had accidentally done an extra repeat in the back. This is the back of the sweater. It's knit in pieces. Has a really cute cable pattern, which I have to say, I don't like the chart software she uses. It looks ugly and hard to follow. Here is the left front. So you can see here's the seed stitch button band and the pattern for the front. So I had done an extra, I had to rip out all the way from the shoulder down to below the armhole because I had done the extra repeat here. And then I did the left front, and I noticed that I did my decreases wrong for the collar, and I had started it way too soon, and so I decided to rip this down to right before the shaping for the arm, or right at where I shaped for the armhole, so I can do that correctly. It went really fast, so I'm not worried about not being able to finish. It's, again, knit in pieces and sewn together. I don't mind doing sweaters like that, but for a little baby sweater, I didn't see why it would have been a big deal to write the pattern in the round, and then when you can split it up when you get to the armholes. But she didn't, and I could have knit it that way anyway, but I just followed the pattern. And the other thing I wanted to mention is she wrote a pattern to be knit in pieces, but she didn't add side seams, extra stitches on the edges to use for seaming, which you should do. So I added that myself, no big deal. I'm just saying, and I put it in my show notes, but she really should have done that. And then I was able to find the same yarn in green, so my coworker Megan, who's expecting in February, she doesn't know what she's going to have. But I asked her, what are your colors going to be? And she said, anything green. We love green. So I bought the same yarn in green from someone's D-Stash for $5 a skein. And I'll make her little man or her daughter, whichever it is, she thinks it's a boy, a sweater with this. And I also made her Bear in a Bunny Suit by Susan B. Anderson. I bought 2 of her kits, one with a green bunny suit for Megan and her baby. And these are so cute. I loved it. The kit was $40. It's not too bad considering gave you everything except the fill. And here it is without, I put the head on, it's like turned the other way. So if I face it forward, it looks like he's got a crick in his neck. That's all right. Although it really does look like he's like this. Oh well, the baby won't care. And yeah, so I have another kit. I'll show you it. Another kit that I ordered for my other coworker, the one who knows he's having a boy. But here's the pattern. I printed it up. It comes with a PDF, which was kind of a waste since I got I actually have, if you really think you will make this, I have an extra download code that you are welcome to. I paid for it. It comes with the pattern, so it's not like I'm giving away something I already use. I also have the book that it's Super Easy Knits or something, or no, is it Super Easy Knits? It's part of a book that I also own. So I have paid for this pattern essentially 3 times. So if you would like it, I would gift it to you. Just PM me on Ravelry. I'll send you the download code. But here's what the kit comes with. It comes with a little thing of stitch markers, which are my favorite kind. Nothing fancy. I really don't like anything fancy. Just these little, light bulb, I guess you might call them. Light bulb, paper clip, or safety pin kind of ones. And it comes with the blue. And by the way, I love her yarn. This is the Barrett wool in worsted weight. It is a really nice yarn. Like, this would make a great sweater. I really loved the knitted fabric. I love the way it feels. I love her colors, and I highly recommend it. I can't talk about pilling because I haven't had it long enough. So here's the brown that comes for the actual bear. And that's better. The blue is pretty. It's like a powdery blue with a hint of green, maybe. And it comes with a little bit of black for embroidering the nose and mouth, and safety eyes for the little eyeballs. And of course, it comes with that download code, which, like I said, I don't see it in the bag here now, but I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Yeah, so it was a nice purchase. And, oh, and it came with the bag. It has a little logo bag. It's good enough. Requires 2 needles. I did it on double pointed. And I'll start the other one soon, because this is the one who has the baby shower in December. So I wish I had started this one first, but I didn't know at the time. So that's all the things I've been working on, and you saw this finished object. What else we have? I am getting ready to mail out I don't know, what do you call it? A love package, a care package to my daughter, and it's mostly going to be hand knits. I showed you a few episodes ago, so it was probably in the middle of the summer. I finished the Glam Lamb sweater for her, and that will be in it. I also had this, which she actually has had already. This is my own pattern. It is, I don't remember what I named it, this pattern. It's a free pattern. You can get it. Isn't that terrible that I can't remember the name of my own pattern? Where is it? Oh, the Awakening Cowl. This is the Awakening Cowl. This is the first one I made. So this was basically, I had some hand spun little samples that I had spun on my spindle that were from on the round, I think, little poonies and I wanted to, use them to make a special something for someone, but they were 1 ounce each. So I decided I would use them for color work. They went well, and you can see they look well together. The white is not hand spun. That's just some fingering weight I had in my stash. And I went in my dictionary and I picked out some patterns I liked, and I knit this up for her. It's steeked. I crocheted the steek, even though I probably would have been able to leave it. It's not necessarily shetland wool, so I didn't want to take any chances of it. And what happened was she was out wearing it, and she lost one of the screws from these buckles that I put on it. I didn't use buttons, I used buckles. So she mailed it back to me. I don't know why she did that, but I bought a screw and I put it in. She could have done that, but she's like, Mom, you have to fix this. So I'm going to mail this back to her. And the other thing I made her, which is going to be a surprise, are these socks. These are a drops pattern, and it's made with drops sock yarn. What's the yarn name? I bought it. Drop socks. I bought it from Garden Studio, and it's called Charisma. It's a super wash. It's kind of a cheap yarn, but I made these for her in the past, and she wore them out because she loved them so much. She wore them all the time, and so I made her another pair. And she'll be getting these to keep her feet nice and toasty warm out in Salt Lake City, Utah, where she's now living. And this is a great fair oil pattern. It's kind of like, I would call it a worsted weight yarn. I don't know if technically it is. Let me see what that says. It says it's a DK, but it's a very thick yarn. You could wear these in boots in the winter, or you could just use them as slipper socks. I will tell you that I felt the yarn wore through very quickly when she had it. But these will be going in the mail. These patterns are hard to follow. If you are one of those people that needs step-by-step directions when you read a knitting pattern, the drops patterns, generally speaking, are not written that way. They assume you're understanding a lot without them having to explain it. And so just keep that in mind. They're free patterns, so no, I'm not knocking it, but just keep that in mind. So that's the Rachel care package. Mark, my husband, who's also the chef, he also made her some canned foods and some sauces, enchilada sauce, cookies. He's sending her some kind of fancy cooking tool because she inherited the love of cooking from him. So it'll be a package with stuff made with love from my husband and I. And then, so that's all I'm working on right now. I haven't worked much, a little bit on the Rhinebeck sweater around here and there, but not a whole heck of a lot. But I did finish, I do have some finished objects. So this you saw me working on, and I think maybe I had just still been doing the border, but this is the Rock Island shawl by Jared Flood, made with his own yarn, and I love it. I love the yarn, I love the pattern, I love knitting it. And it's a beautiful accessory. I absolutely love it. Isn't it gorgeous? It just, mm-mm-mm. It holds its block very nicely too. Um, so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'd make another one of these. Um, I don't know if you can notice it, but I did mess up the spine here in the beginning. You start here, and it got shifted over. So obviously, I did three the double decrease in the wrong spot, and so the spine was off center all the way up, but I kind of adjusted for it in the end, and you can't really tell. And I just love the stitch patterns. It's just an amazing designer, and I really, really loved it. So I wear it a lot. I've been wearing it a lot. Um, this was hard to put down, and I haven't updated my picture in Ravelry yet, and I really need to do that. I just haven't had time to go out and get a really nice shot of it. I want to get a nice shot outside in the daylight of me wearing it in the natural light so that you can really kind of see it and appreciate it. Now I've also knit another shawl. This was for the Fruity Knitting podcast. They still have a brioche cowl going on until the end of November. And I chose to make the gold rose. Is it gold rose? Rose gold or gold rose? Rose gold shawl by Andrea Mowry, who is Dre Renee Knits. She did the Find Your Fade shawl. She's got some amazing brioche patterns up. And this one is a gorgeous one. I used 2 skeins of Earl Grey, which you can see predominantly on this side. So this was kind of like my base color. The Earl Grey is a beautiful kind of tan, beige, natural tan colors with pops of light blues and gold and browns. And then to accentuate it as the background colors, I used Fig. This is all Madeline Tosh light, by the way. I used Fig, which is brown, which you can actually see better on the other side, or no. So this is the brown here, the knit stitch. The brioche is the Earl Grey. Love it. It came out so good. I already put the leftovers away, but then in the bottom where you have like these little rosebuds, it is the again the Earl Grey. The background is called Night Blossom, I believe, and it's a beautiful pinky purple, which you can see better on this side. So this is fantastic. I absolutely love this wrap. It's nice and big, so it kind of, like sometimes at work if I'm really cold, I can wrap it around my arms and it's almost like I'm wearing a sweater. And I just love it. The colors are beautiful. I love both sides of it. They go so well together. I'm really pleased as punch with the colors I chose. They're all from Deep Stash. I think I got them from other people's Deep Stashes. And both of my sisters are like coveting it. And I'm like, sorry, this one is absolutely for me. And I tried to find yarn to make them one. And you can't find these colors anymore. The only one I found is the pink one. This one. So I'm going to have to go through my stash and see if I can make something that's just as stunning with some of the yarn I have already, which is what I'd rather do instead of having to buy more. But we'll see, because they both want one, and it would have to be for Christmas next year. It was a lot. It goes slow. This is mostly what I've been working on. um, since I've last spoken with you. This is pretty much dominated my knitting time. It was pretty mindless until I got to this part. And then even this part, after a while, became much easier and memorizable. And I just, again, I want to make more of these. It's really, really great wrap. Yeah, and that's it for projects. Do you want to hear what I got at Rhinebeck? I did go to Rhinebeck just on Saturday. Um, Mark and his mom, my mother-in-law, couldn't come because my mother-in-law is just not well enough to do it. It would have been too much for her. Her leg is still healing and very painful. In case you didn't know, she broke her femur bone this summer. And she's living with us, and she can't be left alone for long periods of time. So I went without Mark, which made me sad. And but I went with Sandy, which is nice, and our friend Lori. But we all went off in our own directions, and I just went there and I shopped. I didn't check out the sheep. I waited online for over an hour for falafel because Saturday was super crowded. Usually Sunday is my chill day where I go and I just enjoy the foods and stuff. But I didn't go Sunday because I didn't want to leave Mark alone with his mom for 2 days. Also, I was still busy with work with that some work stuff. I had to work quite a lot of weekends in October, so it was I enjoyed it, and I went to the podcaster meetup, but I wasn't very sociable, and honestly, I haven't been watching podcasts like I used to. I watch a few of my standard favorites, but I haven't been checking out the newer ones like I usually like to do. Just because I haven't had the time, number one, and number two, because my husband and I got sucked into all the Marvel shows that are playing on Netflix. So that kind of took the place of the podcast. And Stranger Things, oh my God, Stranger Things. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about TV shows, and I usually am not a TV person. But I did go, and let me show you what I got. Spirit Trail Fiber Works was my first stop. I didn't have a lot of money this year. I don't know if I've mentioned it at all. I probably haven't because it's kind of private, but my husband has been out of work since last September, so over a year, due to a disability. His blood clots in his legs. And as a chef, you are on your feet for hours and hours and hours, and it was very painful for him and dangerous, and he had to get off his feet. He had a few months of short-term disability, which was very minimal to boot, so we've been kind of struggling with money. But I charged a lot of stuff. I bought this color set. Don't tell me, I'll have to take it out. I'll insert a picture. I have a picture that I posted on Ravelry. It is her Philomena in the dark hollow color set. Okay. It includes from this side over to this side. It is the Witching Hour, Smoke. Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, Blood and Roses, Ashes and Embers, The Dawn Wall, and Hermitage. They're very dark, smoky, saturated colors, and that's what I fell in love with. There was another colorway there, September or something. It was gorgeous, but I was just in the mood for something more saturated and darker. So I got this. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm not really interested in having a find your fade, but I'll figure something out. I could make a funky sweater if I wanted to. What else did I get? I got 2 more skeins from Spirit Trail Fiberworks. Sunna, my favorite yarn ever. It is a superwash merino cashmere silk blend. It is a workhorse yarn, yet at the same time luxurious. And I got it in Bluestone, which is a beautiful blue, and Big Red Barn, which is like a brownish brick red. To add to my collection of Senna, which is what I knit my exploration station with. And then I also got a whole bunch of oval, which is beautiful and affordable yarn. God, this thing is driving. And I have an idea for this is to make a Dipped in Infinity cowl. I've wanted a Dipped in Infinity cowl for years, going back to an old Rhinebeck where I saw a kit by Dirty Water Dye Works for it, and I ended up not getting it. I was refraining, but I really wanted it. And I saw it there like the next year, and I refrained. And now they don't sell the kits anymore, and you can't get those colors. And I've always regretted it. So this year I went actually looking specifically for yarn to make that with. And what it is it's kind of like a fade shawl where you hold two yarns together. I could do that with the other kit. Oh, see where I'm going with it? Anyway, the old wool, I went from like gray, blue gray to dark gray. Oh, first I started with this. It's oyster, a neutral. Then I got two of the blue gray, one of the dark gray, a pink, and then I got a little darker and purpler with the pink, and then I went to deep dark red. This is actually like a blood red. It's called Meadow Violet. It's gorgeous. It looks brown or even black on the screen, but it's not, and it's gorgeous. Check out the pictures I have on Ravelry of it because it's gorgeous. And this will make, all these colors together will go beautifully into something. But I'm really happy with this. This is a great price yarn. This is a natural dyer. It's also organically superwashed. So, I mean, what more could you ask for? And that, my friends, is it. That's all I have to talk about. There is a thread in my Ravelry group where I'm talking about my mother-in-law and I give updates on her health. She is doing better and better every day. And work, which was another reason I stopped podcasting for a while, has lightened up significantly. The project is over. It was extremely successful. And my whole department was involved. They don't report to me, but the department I work in. And actually, it was one of my old managers, who's like one of the greatest people I've ever known. He led the project, and it was a huge success for him, career-wise. And so that's done, and we were, like I said, hugely successful. So now it's just kind of like back to normal at work. And so things are a little better, but it's still hard, and I will just be checking in here and there when I feel I have something to talk to you about, really. It's going to be more about when I have some content than when, I'm scheduled. So I hope that's okay with you guys. I'm not going to upload to iTunes anymore, by the way. I've run out of space in my blog, so I can't post any new videos right to my blog. So it's a WordPress blog where you pay $100 a year and you can upload videos and then link them to iTunes. And of course, I couldn't upgrade it again this year, so I'm just posting to YouTube's because from what I can tell, most people aren't. Well, first of all, I don't have a lot of people watching it. Based on what I can see, I get maybe 100 to 150 views on each platform, on iTunes and on YouTube. So I, I really couldn't afford to renew it, and I figured most people are on YouTube now and subscribing on YouTube. So the only thing is you can't download and watch it later, but I think we're okay there. So it will just be on YouTube, and I will link the YouTube video. I will plug it into my blog, so you can watch it on the blog or on YouTube. And of course, there will be a link in Ravelry. No more show notes. Everything I talk about, I upload to Ravelry. So if you look at my project pages and my new stash, you'll see everything I'm talking about there. And it's really good to be back. I'll talk to you all soon. Ciao for now. But come back real quick. I forgot about something important. And that is, I forgot to mention that I did have a contest open for your goals, and we were in the middle of doing a goal to use up old stash. I wanted to let you know, and I guess I should post it on the thread, is that I did draw a winner and sent her the prize over a month ago. So I don't want you to think like I totally just dissed the contest. I did fulfill the prize drawing and send the prize to the winner. And let me see, I don't remember the winner's name. I can get that for you. The winner was S.A. Sabrab on Ravelry, and her name is Sabrina. And I sent her, back in the middle of October, I sent her her prize. So that is officially closed. I'm obviously not doing it for the fourth quarter, which would have been knitting socks. And I'm not doing the senior level on, if you're wondering. I'm still going to do the party for the seniors, and but I'm not doing any prize drawing and mailing out and stuff. Honestly, I can't afford to mail all those prizes out now with things being the way they are. And I actually have a couple of hundred washcloths left over from last year in my closet. If you do have washcloths, because I did run into people at Rhinebeck that said they do, you can still mail them to me, and I will use them, and I will give them away, and whatever's left over, I always save and can use the following year. So if you do have washcloths and you want to send them in, just PM me, and I'll send you my address. All right? Thanks, everybody, for your patience and understanding. I hope I didn't lose too many of you, but I love you. Bye.